Our next session is Demantra security and user management. So in this case, what are the things that we can secure? Like in the data element, we are having a level, series, worksheets. So there might be some sensitive data like the profit margin or or the sales price. So these are some sensitive data. So all users should not access that. So this kind of so we have to put some restrictions. So this is one of the example. So how that can be done, that we'll see here. So these are some examples where we have to put some security restrictions. So the demand planner should not aggregate the monthly sales along with the item cost for all other plants. Like if I am a demand planner for M1, then I should be doing with M1 only. I should not seeing the D1 data, some other organization data, right? So how that restriction can be applied? So this is the one case. Or another thing is user should not create any new organization or the new item in the worksheet. So right now the through method we can create the new item, new organization, but we can put the restrictions over there as well. And then the forecast should be approved by manager. So there will be a approved series, and that series will be only accessed by one particular user who is a manager. So the series level restrictions. Then there are some worksheet which can be accessed only by manager. So where it will be it does the more aggregation, like organization level aggregation or the operating unit level aggregation. These kind of aggregation should be done at the one particular super user level or the manager level. So these are the examples where we have to put the restrictions, and then we'll see how the restriction can be applied. So this is the one table which explains most of all the thing. Okay, so now the data element. Our data element is a series. So we can control at the component level. Some things can be controlled at the user group level, and some can be controlled at the individual user level. Okay, just to understand what is mean by component and the user group and user ID, I have drawn this diagram. So this is the one component. So this one component is nothing but a demand management application. So another component is in sales and operation planning or PTP. Okay, so this is at the, there are some restrictions which are done at the component level. Then the subset of data is at the user level or user group level. So it's a subset. So it's that user belongs to that component. So there will be, if the same user cannot belongs to the multiple component. Okay, so this is how it look like if you try to draw this diagram. And then if I want to control the series, then series can be controlled at the component level and the user level. It cannot be controlled at the user group level. So we'll see one by one how this can be done. And then so that means if the one series I have defined, for example like XX item price, so that series is only enabled for demand management. So it is not enabled for sales and operation planning. It makes sense because as per your if your component is changing, your business requirement is also changing. Like in case of promotions, for the promotion we do the forecasting based on the promotion, right? So there will be some additional promotion series which are not required for demand management. So then the series indicator which includes like some nodes, and then not nodes, some when you open the series there will be some indicators. When you do some nodes is one of the example, then there is attachment, all these things. These are the indicators, series indicators. So these are the controlled at the component level only, and then at the level. So level will be controlled at the component, but level member will be controlled at the component and the user level. So what is meant by that? So if I define a new level, XX item type, so that level is available for the demand management component, but the level corresponding level member like MTO, CTO, these are the level members. So MTO, CTO, these level member will be given only to one particular special user or separate user. So this can be done. So then unit of measure, then index and exchange rate. So any unit of measure, in short, it can be a monetary or it might be a physical unit of measure. Both are controlled at the component level. There is no any option that we can have, like for one user there is a Canadian dollar, for another user the currency is something different, or XX palette that or meter unit is only available for this user and the centimeter is for another user. No, that is not possible. It's at the component level configurations. And note is the only data element which is not controlled at the component or the user group, or rather it will be controlled at the user and user group level. So whenever we create a note, we mention a permission, like this is my note, this note is only seen by my colleague, this note will not be seen by manager. So I am a user, I am writing this note and the user itself define the permission. So this is the one important table, and on this table there are lots of questions in exam. So you need to thoroughly understand what is mean by that. So now this is the one, now the data element security. So here we are talking about the series. So this is the navigation, go to the business modular security, create modify user. So for each user will have access, like whether this series is enabled or disabled for that user. So when we define a user, we can mention this restriction. When we configure a series, then we can mention what are the different users that can be accessed. So both the place we can mention, one at the user level, another one is when we define a series, there will have the list of the user who can access the series. Then about the level members. So the level members again at the user level. So when I create a new user, I will mention, okay, this user is already having access to the access item type level, and out of that he will have access for all these level members. And further we can mention full control, read only, write only. Okay, now what is meant by full control? So it means that user can delete that level member from the worksheet. When I say read only, so what is meant by that? When I do aggregation for that level member, like when I select the accessories as my member and I do aggregation, and that once I do aggregation, then that particular aggregation done at that level, that will be only seen by user. He cannot edit that numbers in the series. Okay, and then so these are the controls: read only, edit, full control. Okay, now what are the things that can be controlled at the component? So the level can be controlled at the component level. So when you open a component, open a component, then you can define whether this XX item type, so this is XX item type, can have the no access, read only access, write access, full access. So when you say full access, then full access to everybody, unless and until you mention this exclusion. Unless and until you mention this condition, like now he got access for XX item type, but out of all these 5-6 members, he will have only access to 2 members. So the best example is like organization. So organization level access is given to everybody, but M1 users will have access to M1. So here I will come organization, level type is my organization, and here value will be M1. So I will select only M1. So he will see only data for M1. Then daemon admin. So this is it's a complete different thing. We have implemented all this security from business modular. Now we are talking about the admin for collaborator workbench. Okay, from the collaborator workbench as well, we can put some restrictions, some conditions like the business modular. This planning application should not be accessed by these users. These planning applications only accessed by the product management team or engineering team, you can disable it for that user or for that user group. So this is the security that we can deploy. And then on the same line, from the collaborator admin, we can disable this new organization, view organization, edit. If you want to disable these methods, then what you have to do, you have to come and you have to select add or edit, whichever. Now I want to delete, I want to remove, for example, new. Then I will come here, then select add, and then object menu, and I will select the level filter. Whenever you select object menu, it will show only the levels. Okay, so object menu, and then you have to select the levels, and for that level you have to say enable, disable. Okay, so these are the standard groups, program groups. The program groups add means you will create something new record. So the new organization comes under the add group. Delete, the delete organization that is already disabled for this example. So you can play around this one. Okay, so now you can define, you can disable, enable at specific user level, user group level. Okay, so now I can mention for this user or for this user group, like collaborator. So this is a user group. For this user group, they should not able to enable any or delete any particular member or add any particular member. So I will select group as a collaborator group, then rest of other I will keep as it is. Module I will select collaborator workbench. Okay, and then I will come here and then I will select program type as a object, program type as a object menu, and the level is my organization. And or if you don't select, then it will show everything. Now here it is showing me object menu. In object menu for account, so this is my level. There are some options like add new account, edit account, delete account, view account. So I can say okay, disable all this, enable all this, or keep inherent. So if you do that, then that particular user won't able to create any record on the fly. Then further we can put the restriction like these user, like if you want to disable who is online for all the users, then again you can do it from the collaborator admin. Then you can say for this user who is online should be disabled, uncheck all this, then the who is online will be disabled. So that's all about what we can do from collaborator workbench, collaborator admin. So basically you need to keep two things in mind. One is this table. Second thing is, so now for this you have to open like series. Okay, it says the control at the component level. Let me open the component. Where is this navigations? Okay, yes, I can disable, enable from here. Now open user ID. Okay, let me select a DM user. See how for the DM user how can disable it. So if you go through each of this example, then you will come to know how the security. So this is from Business Modular and Collaborator Workbench. Ideally what I have seen that we can use this screen where we have to enable and disable. Like for Collaborator Workbench, disable all this edit and delete and new options. Then you have to come here and uncheck it. Okay, and then who is online you want to disable, typically that is also not required, you can disable it. Okay, so next is the worksheet security. It's a pretty straightforward. So there are some worksheet. If it is okay, so this menu is only available to admin. So if I am a user and if I have created one of the worksheet which is a private, then admin can make that worksheet as a public, and then with that public then everybody will get access, or he can make that as a private. Okay, so these are about the worksheet security. Now about access. So here if you see this permission level, okay, this permission level system manager, there should be only one user with this permission, because he is the admin guy who do all these adjustment, changing the levels and series. So there will be only one guy, rest of other permissions are there. You can use it, and by using this permission you can use this user permission here. So user permission, it might be somewhere manager. So there are 4 permissions level: system, manager, and there are rest of other 3. So for that permission, so rest of other restrictions will apply. So the person who is having that kind of permission, all these restrictions will be applied. So this is a way to put the multiple restrictions as per our need. Yeah, that's pretty much. So this is the way to put the restrictions on the user or at the user group level, or enable, disable levels and everything.